Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at my version 2 Renegade GoBots Cy-Kill. So hit that subscribe button for me right now and let's get right into the review. Hey guys, I'm here from Transformers and Video Games and welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned in my intro, today we're going to be taking a look at version 2 of GoBots Cy-Kill. And stick around right until the end of the video for a special YouTuber shout out. Now on with the review. The more traditional red, white, and blue version of Cy-Kill was originally released in the Machine Robo series as Bike Robo back in 1982, before it was later brought to North America under the GoBots branding and marketed as the leader of the evil Renegades back in 1983. The black, gray, and green color variant that I have right here was released as figure number 45 in the GoBots line, and in my opinion, it's been an underappreciated figure since it came out over 35 years ago. Cy-Kill's alt mode is obviously a motorcycle, and it's a very nice one at that. The color scheme works really well, but one of my favorite features in this mode is the beautiful, shiny silver chrome finish that they've used for the handlebars, engine, exhaust pipe, and the frame of the bike, including the front forks and the suspension. The amount of molded detail is really nice too. If you look closely, you can see the drive sprocket and the chain, along with various other motorcycle parts and details. Like most vintage GoBots figures, Cy-Kill has rubber tires. Here you can see that they roll quite well, and they're also complemented by a pair of eye-catching silver chrome rims. At this angle, you can see the front headlights, which has been molded in a translucent yellow plastic and really helps add to the realism of the figure. Similar to some of the G1 Transformers mini-bots, the bottom of the motorcycle has visible head syndrome, but I think that's completely understandable considering the size of the figure. Here's a look at my version 2 of Cy-Kill next to my red, white, and blue Machine Robo version of the figure. I think they look great together, but I'm obviously more accustomed to the more traditional color scheme on the right. Having said that, the black, gray, and green colors of version 2 do tie in nicely together as a motorcycle and make for a very respectable variation of the figure. Here they are next to the much larger Super GoBots version of Cy-Kill. For anyone who's interested, there was also a Super GoBots variant where the gray plastic parts were painted silver, but I don't have that particular version of my collection yet. Having said that, I would absolutely love it if they did a reissue of Super GoBots Cy-Kill that included shiny silver chrome parts, much like the smaller versions of the figure. Let me know in the comments section if that's something that you'd be interested in as well. And now we'll get into the transformation. First, unpeg the engine from the back end and from the underside of the bike and just put it aside. Then straighten the legs and carefully remove the back wheel. Next, separate the front forks of the bike and remove the front wheel. Rotate the arms into whatever position you'd like. I'm just going to go with a neutral position here with his arms relaxed at his sides. Then plug the wheels into the shoulders. Now there's no special way of doing this, but at least on my specimen, one side plugs in easier than the other, likely due to some chrome wear on the pegs. Of course, I picked the wrong side in both attempts here, but that's just my luck when I decide to record a YouTube video. And that's it for the transformation. I think it's about as perfect as it gets for a figure this size. As you can see, Cy-Kill has a very handsome robot mode. He's got a gray head and a green face with yellow eyes. It's got a really nice weight to it since the entire head, chest, and back section is made out of painted die-cast metal. The figure has lots of nice details. If you look carefully, you can see that his little hands even have fingers that have been molded in place. Again, the silver chrome parts work quite nicely for his shoulders, arms, upper thighs, and the sides of his legs in robot mode. As expected, the back of the robot mode is very tidy looking. It would have been nice if you could peg the engine into his back for storage, but they didn't do that here. I've always liked the look of the exhaust pipes on the back of his legs. I can see them acting as jetpacks, giving Cy-Kill the ability to fly. The figure didn't come with any weapons, but according to the old 80s animation series, he could shoot lasers from his fists, so I suppose the figure didn't really need any. For a smaller sized figure, I think the look of the robot mode and the proportions are really good here. Here's a look at both of my smaller versions of the figure in robot mode. If you think that version 2 of Cy-Kill looks more menacing than my Machine Robo version of the figure, then perhaps it's because in the original Machine Robo line, Bike Robo was actually one of the good guys, so they gave him this very heroic red, white, and blue color scheme. I actually had a viewer mention this to me in the comments section of one of my other videos, and I find it to be a very interesting piece of GoBots history. Here they are next to the Super GoBots version of the figure, who absolutely towers over the other two. You can really see what I mean here about the gray parts on the larger figure. It would look absolutely amazing if these parts were chromed out like they are on the smaller version of the figures. Now, for anyone curious, I didn't lose the wheels on my Super GoBots version. They aren't plugged into his shoulders because the transformation is slightly different on the larger version of the mold. In this case, the wheels have actually been repositioned out of the way onto the backside of the figure. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the review up right here. If you don't already have GoBots Cy-Kill, I would highly recommend adding any version of the figure to your collection, including the more traditional red, white, and blue version, or the much larger Super GoBots version of the figure. I don't have any statistical data to back this up, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that the black, gray, and green color variant is likely less common than the regular version since it came out later in the GoBots line, and I quite honestly don't come across anywhere close to as many of them as I do the traditional version. If you decide to pick one up, make sure the chrome is in good condition, and be sure that it comes with the engine and both wheels, unless you don't care about the motorcycle and just want to display it in robot mode all the time. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my buddy Lotus Stark, who actually has a complete set of North American GoBots. He unboxed a number of sealed figures on his channel before revealing his entire collection of museum-quality GoBots in one of his collection videos. Check out his channel, and if you like what you see, consider subscribing for more. I'll be sure to leave a link to his channel in the description of the video. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Take care.